There's a hidden history written in her behavior, a past you can't see, but you can definitely sense. You meet a woman. She's captivating, charming, and there's a certain worldly ease about her. But something in your gut whispers a question about her past, about the path she walked to get to you. You dismiss it. You tell yourself the past doesn't matter. But deep down, you know it shapes who she is today. And there are clues, subtle, often overlooked, that reveal the truth about her intimate history. Not to shame her, but to inform you. Today, we're moving beyond guesswork and gossip. We're decoding the 7 hidden signs that indicate a woman has been with a significant number of men. This isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. It's about understanding the psychological and behavioral imprints that experience leaves behind. The 4th sign is the one most men misinterpret completely, and the 7th will change how you view intimacy forever. If you're ready for unfiltered truth that most channels are too afraid to discuss, do 2 things right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for Inner Plan. We go where others won't. And drop a comment below saying aware. Let me know you're here for real insights. Let's begin. Sign number 1, the mastery of detachment. Pay attention to how she handles the end of things. Not just relationships, but conversations, dates, moments of vulnerability. A woman with extensive intimate experience has often built a psychological fortress. She's learned to disconnect before she gets disconnected. You'll notice a remarkable emotional resilience that can border on coldness. There's a lack of lingering sentimentality. She can speak of past partners with a clinical, almost analytical detachment, as if recounting a business transaction rather than a shared heartbeat. There are no nostalgic tears, no wistful what-ifs. The chapter is closed, archived, and the emotional file is deleted. This isn't innate coldness. It's a learned survival mechanism. Each emotional investment that ended taught her to hedge her bets, to keep a part of herself permanently in reserve. The mistake men make is seeing this as strength or independence and trying to be the one who finally breaks through. But you're not breaking through a wall. You're navigating a well-designed security system. The key signal is in the speed of her emotional recovery. Does she process the end of a bond, even a budding one, with a speed that seems unnatural? If so, it's not that she's superhuman. It's that she's had extensive practice. And this emotional architecture directly influences how she views the physical aspect of connection. Sign number 2, the decoupling of sex and intimacy. For her, sex and deep emotional bonding are not inextricably linked. They are separate tracks that can run parallel, but don't necessarily have to. This is one of the most telling signs, and it manifests in subtle ways. She may discuss sex with a casual, matter-of-fact tone that surprises you. There's no giggling, no blushing, no sense of sacred mystery. It's a topic like any other. She might initiate physical intimacy relatively quickly, not out of overwhelming passion for you specifically, but because the act itself carries less monumental weight for her. It's a language she's fluent in, and she doesn't always need a deep emotional prologue to speak it. This isn't about being easy. It's about a shifted paradigm. When you've shared your body with many, the act itself can become normalized, separated from the soul. The magic isn't in the merging of bodies. It's harder to find, often residing in specific acts or scenarios. Watch for this. Does her physical affection feel abundant but somehow generic? Like it's a skill she's applying, rather than a unique desire radiating from her core for you. The warmth is there, but the fire of specific targeted longing might be diffused. Experience can teach the body how to perform, but it often schools the heart on how to withhold. Sign number 3, the absence of first-time energy. Remember the nervous excitement, the fumbling wonder, the electric novelty of early exploration. A woman with a lengthy history has long since left that country. There is a certain proficiency, a lack of surprise. She knows what she wants and how to get it. There's little hesitation, little exploratory curiosity about the basics. She navigates physical situations with a confident, almost director-like precision. While this can be initially impressive, it can also feel strangely impersonal. You're not discovering a new world together. You're being guided through a well-charted territory that she knows intimately. The hidden sign here is the lack of mutual vulnerability. True intimacy involves two people feeling their way in the dark together. When one person has the map memorized, it becomes less of a shared journey and more of a tour. The awe is gone, replaced by expectation. This expectation then bleeds into her most fundamental views on relationships themselves. Sign number 4, the cynical relationship algorithm. Listen closely to her philosophy on love and men. It will be data-driven, not faith-driven. She speaks in patterns, probabilities, and strategies. You'll hear phrases like, all men eventually, or, in my experience, you have to, or, the key is to never let him. Her trust isn't given, it's a calculated grant based on accumulated evidence. She has a mental checklist, a series of tests, and an exit strategy pre-formulated. This isn't necessarily malice, it's the intellectualization of romance. After seeing enough patterns repeat, the heart retreats and the mind takes over to manage risk. The red flag isn't that she has standards. The red flag is that her standards are a rigid, impersonal system designed to filter out pain, rather than a flexible, open-hearted desire to find connection. She's looking for someone who passes the algorithm, not necessarily someone who touches her soul in an unpredictable way. You feel like you're being processed by a protocol. And this need for control extends powerfully into the realm of secrecy and reputation. Sign number 5, the meticulous control of narrative. She is the sole author of her past, and she guards the manuscript fiercely. You will get a heavily edited, redacted version of her history. Details are vague. Timelines are fuzzy. Ex-partners are referred to in broad, nondescript categories. A guy I dated. Someone from years ago. Names, specific durations, and concrete stories are scarce. This isn't about privacy. Everyone deserves that. This is about active, deliberate narrative shaping. She understands that knowledge is power, and by controlling what you know about her past, she controls a piece of your perception of her. Asking direct questions will be met with deflection, mild annoyance, why does the past matter, or a perfectly rehearsed, emotionally flat anecdote that reveals nothing. The sign is in the effortlessness of the evasion. It's a practice skill. A woman with less to curate might be clumsier, more transparent. This is smooth. It feels like talking to a skilled diplomat. You leave the conversation feeling you learned something, but upon reflection, you learned nothing of substance. This protective curation is mirrored by a very specific physical vigilance. Sign number 6, the hypervigilance of consequences. Her awareness of sexual health, pregnancy risk, and social perception is dialed to an expert level. Again, this is wise for anyone. But here, it's characterized by a proactive, almost anticipatory thoroughness that comes from lived experience or witnessing consequences. She will bring up protection early, without awkwardness. Her knowledge of sexual health details might be surprisingly comprehensive. She is acutely aware of social stigma and manages her reputation with care. There's a lack of the naive, it won't happen to me, mindset. She knows things can happen because in her wider sphere of experience, they have. This vigilance isn't a negative, it's responsible. But as a sign, it points to a mind that has been trained by exposure to consider outcomes that a less experienced person might not even conceive of. It's the difference between someone who has read about fire and someone who has fought one. All of these signs culminate in the most profound and often saddest hallmark of all. Sign number 7, the disenchantment with the one. The fairy tale is dead, not just skeptically questioned, but genuinely, internally dismantled. The core romantic belief that there is one magical person who will solve everything and make life perfect. That idea has been dissolved by the solvent of multiple experiences. She may say she wants a partner, but her vision of partnership is often practical, grounded, and somewhat muted. It's about compatibility, support, shared goals, not about soul-shattering, all-consuming passion. That kind of passion, in her experience, is often a temporary chemical reaction that burns out and leaves a mess. This is the true cost. The hidden sign is a subtle absence of romantic hope. She doesn't get giddy about love songs in the same way. She watches romantic comedies with a detached, knowing smile. Her relationship goals are often framed in terms of peace and stability, not passion and ecstasy. The magic has been rationalized away. This isn't to say she can't love, or that she won't be loyal. She can, and she might. but the love she's capable of offering may be a more weathered, realistic, and carefully portioned version. The boundless, naive, all-in devotion of a less experienced heart is a currency she likely no longer possesses. A heart that has housed many tenants learns to keep the master bedroom locked. Now, let's be profoundly clear. None of these signs are inherently bad. They are adaptations. They are the armor and the strategies developed by a person navigating a complex world. Understanding them is not about condemning her. It's about seeing her clearly. Is she a red flag? Not necessarily. She might be self-aware, responsible, communicative, and loyal. But she is also guarded. Her love will be a calculated gift, not an uncontrollable spill. Her trust will be earned slowly, in increments, not given freely in a moment of passion. Your decision is this. Are you looking for a fellow traveler with a worn map and strong defenses who can offer companionship and stable, realistic love? Or are you seeking a co-explorer with a blank map, where the journey is filled with mutual, wide-eyed discovery, but also potentially more naive mistakes? There is no right answer, only your answer, but you must enter with eyes open. Do not project the fantasy of innocent, first love passion onto a woman whose history has forged her into something else. You will frustrate yourself and disrespect her reality. If you want the former, a partnership with the experienced, realistic woman, then your approach must change. You must lead with consistency, not grand romance, with integrity, not promises, with actions that prove you are a safe harbor, not just another storm. You cannot break her walls down. You must be invited through the gate, and that takes time and demonstrated safety. This is the truth you must know, not to fear, but to understand. To choose consciously, not blindly. If this clarity matters to you, if you believe men deserve to navigate relationships with their eyes wide open, then show this channel some love. Hit that like button with force. It tells YouTube this real talk is valuable. And subscribe to Inner Plan. We are here to translate the unspoken so you can make your choices from a place of power, not confusion. In the comments, I want to hear your take. Is this awareness freeing or is it disheartening? Share your perspective below. Your journey, your rules. See clearly. Choose wisely.